Harry versus Voldemort, Dumbledore versus Grindelwald. These are the epic duels you have heard about. But there is one duel that was completely glossed over in the books. This witch is so powerful the Ministry will not fall as long as she is alive. No Death Eater can match her, and Voldemort must go through her if he wants to regain his power. Her name is Amelia Bones, head of the Magical Law Enforcement Office, and third in line to the Minister of Magic. Today on Platform 9 3/4, we will tell her story about the night she faced down Voldemort and give her the recognition she deserves. The night was unnaturally still, the kind of silence that presses against your ears and makes your skin prickle with unease. Amelia Bones sat in her study, the warm glow of the fireplace casting flickering shadows across the room. The air was thick with the scent of old books and the faint tang of ink from the parchment strewn across her desk. She was poring over a report, her brow furrowed in concentration, when the defensive spells around her home shuddered violently, like a gong struck in the dead of night. Amelia's head snapped up, her sharp eyes narrowing as she reached for her wand. She was not a woman easily startled, but the sudden breach of her defenses sent a cold ripple down her spine. The defensive spells were strong. She had reinforced them herself, and yet they had been dismantled with terrifying ease. She rose from her chair, her movements deliberate and calm, but her heart pounded in her chest. She knew who was coming. The front door exploded inward with a deafening crash, splinters of wood scattering across the hallway. A figure stepped through the wreckage, tall and skeletal, his pale skin gleaming like bone in the moonlight. Lord Voldemort's crimson eyes glowed with malevolent glee as he surveyed the room, his wand held loosely in his long, spidery fingers. The air around him seemed to warp, as if the very fabric of reality recoiled from his presence. "Amelia Bones," he hissed, his voice like a serpent's whisper, cold and devoid of humanity. "How kind of you to welcome me." Amelia stood her ground, her wand raised and steady. Her expression was unreadable, but her eyes burned with defiance. "You're not welcome here, Tom," she said, her voice firm and unwavering. The use of his given name was deliberate, a reminder of the man he once was, a man she had no fear of. Voldemort's lipless mouth twisted into a grotesque smile. "Brave words," he said, "but bravery will not save you tonight." Without warning, he flicked his wand, and a jet of green light erupted from its tip. Instantly, Amelia's wand slashed through the air. A shield materialized just in time to deflect the killing curse. The spell ricocheted off the shield and shattered a window, sending shards of glass raining down like glittering rain. Amelia didn't wait for him to strike again. She twisted her wand in a sharp, precise motion and shouted, "Stupefy!" A bolt of red light shot toward Voldemort, but he deflected it effortlessly with a lazy flick of his wrist, his expression one of mild amusement. "Is that the best you can do?" he taunted, his voice dripping with mockery. "I expected more from the head of magical law enforcement." Amelia didn't respond. She was already moving, her mind racing as she calculated her next move. She knew she couldn't match Voldemort's raw power, but she was a seasoned duelist, and she had tricks of her own. With a swift, circular motion of her wand, she conjured a swarm of fiery arrows that streaked toward him like comets. Voldemort's eyes widened slightly in surprise, but he waved his wand, and the arrows disintegrated into harmless sparks. "Impressive," he admitted, though his tone was patronizing. "But futile." He retaliated with a barrage of curses, each one more vicious than the last. Amelia dodged and deflected, her movements fluid and precise. She conjured barriers of stone and fire, using the environment to her advantage. A bookshelf toppled over as a stray curse struck it, sending volumes crashing to the floor. The room was soon in chaos, the air thick with smoke and the acrid smell of burning wood. Amelia's breath came in short, sharp gasps, but her focus never wavered. She cast a series of complex spells, each one designed to disarm or incapacitate, but Voldemort countered them all with ease. His laughter echoed through the room, a sound that was both chilling and infuriating. "You cannot win, Amelia," he said, his voice soft and almost conversational. "But I must admit, you have lasted longer than most. It's almost a shame to kill you." Amelia's jaw tightened, but she didn't rise to the bait. Instead, she feinted to the left and then spun to the right, casting a blinding flash of light from her wand. Voldemort hissed in annoyance, momentarily disoriented, and Amelia seized the opportunity. "Expelliarmus!" she shouted, and a jet of red light shot toward him. For a brief moment, it seemed as though she might succeed. But Voldemort recovered faster than she anticipated, and with a flick of his wand, he deflected the spell and sent it hurtling back at her. Amelia barely managed to dodge, the spell grazing her shoulder and sending a jolt of pain through her arm. She staggered but didn't fall. Her wand hand trembled slightly, but her grip remained firm. She knew she was running out of time, but she refused to give up. Summoning the last of her strength, she raised her wand and cast one final spell, a powerful enchantment that sent a wave of force crashing toward Voldemort. He raised his wand, and the spell dissipated harmlessly. His expression darkened, and for the first time, a flicker of irritation crossed his face. "Enough," he snarled. "You have wasted enough of my time." Amelia opened her mouth to retort, but before she could speak, Voldemort's wand flashed, and a jet of green light erupted from its tip. She tried to dodge, but she was too slow. The killing curse struck her square in the chest, and her body went rigid for a moment before collapsing to the floor. The room fell silent, the only sound the crackling of the dying fire. Voldemort stood over her lifeless body, his expression one of cold satisfaction. "A waste of talent," he murmured, almost to himself. Then he turned and swept out of the room, leaving destruction in his wake. Amelia Bones, one of the bravest and most skilled witches of her time, lay still, her wand clutched tightly in her hand. Her death was a testament to her courage and strength, a reminder that even in the face of overwhelming darkness, there were those who would stand and fight, no matter the cost. Did you like this video? Do you agree that Amelia Bones is one of, if not the most powerful witches of her time? Do you think her battle with Voldemort should have been talked about more in the books? Let us know in the comment section. Please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.